YouTube, Robinic, RBJ2K back with another video. Thank you guys for tuning into the video. Thank you guys for tuning into the channel. I'm not gonna keep you guys too long. NBA 2K26 just dropped literally yesterday. I was cooking up some builds. So as you saw by the title and the thumbnail, I cooked up a lock. So we're gonna call this build a lock some build on 2K26. I think that this is a great build, a great first lock build for those of you who are trying to get in the park, get in the rec, just rep up real fast. A lock is a great way to do that. One of the things that I'm realizing is choosing a lock because they get so many steals, and then also choosing a center at the beginning of 2K26 could actually be a really smart move because it's relatively easy, and having to shift from the previous gens, from the previous 2Ks playstyle to this playstyle is a lot more easier of a transition than say a guard, because you really got to learn the dribbling dynamics, and I was having some struggles with that last night. But anyways, we're not gonna get into my little sort of sorp diaries. We're gonna call this build lock some. We're gonna be right-handed. It's number 2. I put him number 2 because I do want to make him look a little bit like Kawhi Leonard, because we all know Kawhi's locking some, but I really think I found the perfect middle ground between all the heights. We're going to be 6'7", as you see on the screen. We're going to be a small forward. The reason why I went 6'7", I think it's the perfect balance between being able to guard the paint, not being too slow at 6'8", versus not being too small at 6'6". So that's why I went with the 6'7". We're going to be a weight of 212 and a wingspan of 7'1". You see our strength, we put that down to an 80, or our weight goes to 212 pounds, and the reason that was because I want to make sure I get the 82 strength to get the silver immovable. You see, if we toggle it here, we're going to be right there on the edge, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to be a strength of 82. We don't want to do 81 strength, or we're not going to get the silver immovable. And just so you guys know, you can see your build here on the right hand side with this detailed view. So I think I'm going to go with my build being a little stocky. I like the thought of being a little more burly of a build. I think that's the name of what they called it in 2K25. So let's go ahead and move on. I'm actually not going to show you guys me putting the attributes all the way up. I'm just going to give it to you guys right here. Share it with your auntie and grandma. Sharing is important, but if you could at least, at the very least, like the video, I'd really appreciate it and help the channel grow. But yes, here we are. We have finishing, shooting, playmaking, defense, and rebounding. Physicals. What do I want to get into first? So maybe let's start with the physicals, just so I can give you guys an explanation. The speed, I'm maxing my speed out, I believe. Let me see what I can get. We get 90 speed. I'm maxing my speed out. We're gonna get slippery off ball. I heard, I believe in a swag video, that this actually helps with your decks, the slippery off ball here. So that's the reason why I wanted to be faster. Also, it will help you a lot in snagging the lanes, getting those steals. For the agility, I decided to go with an 85 because in general, I think that agility really helps not only just move laterally, but also in a little bit roundabout way your speed. So we'll see how the game progresses, see what happens with everything. But I decided to max out, or pretty much almost max out, get as much as I could with my agility at an 85. The strength, as I mentioned previously, we're going to get the 82 strength so we can get this bronze immovable enforcer. You see it toggling right here in the middle of your screen. That's the reason why, not bronze, sorry, silver immovable enforcer. And then the vertical is going to help us with rebounds. You see we actually do have a good amount of I would say a decent bit of rebound. If you didn't know, strength is no longer tied to your box out beast, so we put a 60 defensive rebound because I wanted to make sure that I was able to get at least bronze box out beast. You see here, actually the 60 rebound is actually going to give us this bronze rebound chaser. If you only want to go to a 50 or a 55, that will give you the bronze box out beast, but this will definitely help your bigs when, you know, most people are just content with running out and not helping their bigs on the rebound. Me knowing how frustrating that is as a big, now that I play big in 2K25, I'd be helping my bigs on the rebounds by boxing out, and then hey, I put a little bit of got a little bit of rebound chaser just so I can go for the rebound and know, hey, I got at least one badge that'll help me get that. So let's move on to the defense, because that's the main thing with a lock build. I decided to go 94 steal and 94 perimeter. Now this might not be the reason that you mostly see with other YouTubers. I agree, we can eventually get plus 10 cap breakers, and that's sort of the approach that I took in the beginning, but as I had the night to think about it, like with these cap breakers as well as the max plus 1 and max plus 2, I don't want you guys to fall into the hole of just having to buy the max plus 1s and the max plus 2 every single season, because I can really see how 2K is giving us a trap in order to spend our money every single season to be able to get the max plus 1 and the max plus 2s. Because honestly, in 2K25, I hated grinding the badges or grinding the build out in the season in order to get those rewards. So I don't want you to be too heavily reliant upon the season rewards. My general approach would be, okay, we give this 94 steal and 94 perimeter. Just take the approach that you're going to enjoy the build as is, and everything you get on top of that will be great. And this will allow you to more so enjoy the build in its current form when you're just getting the game and you're just grinding your build out. Don't be too set on, okay, I want to do the +5, the +10, the max +1, max +2. Just enjoy the game. I think 94 steel, 94 perimeter is going to be a great place to put these values on your defense, on these attributes on rather, for your defense. So we're going to get gold glove, we're going to get Hall of Fame interceptor, we're going to get gold challenger, gold on-ball menace, gold pick dodger. I think these will be very much so sufficient. The reason why I went a 70 interior was so I can get this paint patroller on silver, because I matched that with the 84 block. The 84 block also gives us this high flying denier right here. But yeah, eventually you can +5 this. Eventually you can +5 this if you want to get sweaty. You see, we were able to get 99 perimeter, 99 steel. But for the most part, I would say grind out your crew max +1s, grind out your build specialization, put the build specialization on defense, and then you'll have a lot more fun and not be reliant upon the season rewards. Everything you get at the season rewards during the season, let it just come naturally. That's my general approach. Let me know what you guys think about that approach, but I think it's going to make the game a lot more fun. For the pass accuracy, I put a 71 pass accuracy. We're actually able to get a lot more pass accuracy or pass animations or pass styles unlocked with this 70 now, or 71. We used to only be able to get Anthony Edwards in 2K, but see, we got Paolo Banchero, we can do fundamental. They made Anthony Edwards 74 now. So maybe that's a slight exaggeration given that we don't really get that much more, but hey, we got 3 to choose from. We can do 30, we can do 40, we can do none, or we can do Paolo Banchero. That's cool. The reason why I went 71 versus a 70 is because we do get this gold or silver dimer now. So pass accuracy is not too critical on a lock because you're not going to have the ball in your hands too often. Let's go ahead and move on to the finishing or the shooting. I did a mid-range of an 85. That's what I've been putting on most of my first builds because we get this silver deadeye. I think the silver deadeye is an important badge to have, and in general a higher mid-range is going to give us better jump shots, which I'm still trying to figure out the right jump shots to run on these builds, but I'm going to get it eventually. The three-pointer we put an 80, and then the free throw we put an 87. Let's move on to the finishing here real quick. The driving dunk I put at a 64. Really, you only need a 55 driving dunk to get the dunk animations that I want, as well as the 40 standing dunk, which I'll show you guys right here. The close shot and the driving layup I really don't care about, but let's move on to let's show you guys the dunks here. The 1 foot moving dunks, you see we only need a 36. Basic one hands, we only need a 50. Basic one hands, we need a 50. Hangs off one, we need a 55. So that's a good amount of dunk animations that you saw right there. So another thing that I'm gonna show you right here, there's a 2 foots. You get a good amount of 2 foot dunks too. So 36, we get this one. Basic one handers off 2. Basic hangs off 2, and then we also get this 45 with the 45 driving dunk. Basic 2 handers off 2. That's a good amount. And then we also get the NBA dunks. I'm not gonna go to it, but we get Manu Ginobili and Klay Thompson. So that's a good amount. Another thing that I want to show you guys is we get this with the standing dunk. We're gonna be able to get just a basic little standing dunk package. I think that comes in handy. So I wouldn't go anything under than a 40 because you're gonna be slashing occasionally. You're gonna have a decent driving dunk. And I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but the 64 driving dunk is to be able to get this aerial wizard here. You see it toggles if we don't get 64. So that's the recap of the build. What I've done on this build is make him super fast. The ability to be prepared for different cap breakers with the 94 and the 94 perimeter and 94 steel. A solid, serviceable pass accuracy with a good mid-range that'll help us get good jump shots on this 6-7 build. But let me know what you guys think of the build. I'm going to show you guys the shades that I get. I'm actually really happy with this. I think this shows a good balance between super fast, good amount of strength, while also having the ability to be prepared for cap breakers. And I'm not even too worried, like I was mentioning, with the cap breakers. I'm just going to grind the build out, do the build specialization on defense, grind the crew stuff out, because I like, and I hope I'm interpreting this right, but the crew as well as the build specialization do not reset with the new season. And I don't want to be looking at, oh, what level am I so I can get max tier 2 +1. Some, you know, it's just a trap to fall into, and don't fall into the trap of spending $40, maybe even $100 each season just to get those. If you're that sweaty, go ahead, but for the average gamer, I don't think you want to be spending that much money like every 6 weeks, 4 weeks. That's just my advice. But let's go ahead and show you guys the shades before we round out this video. We're gonna be Gerald Wallace, Jaden McDaniels, Kawhi Leonard. A two-way mid-range score. I thought that fit the Kawhi Leonard look as well. So you see I did a little Kawhi Leonard face creation. But hey, the weakness is not a threat in the air, poor touch on driving layups. I could care less about all that. We're elite jumping passing lanes. That's what a lock should be doing and can guard the best offensive player. Tell me that's not. If you made it to the end of this video, I really do appreciate you guys though. God bless you guys. Share with auntie, granny, uncle again. Like, comment, subscribe, turn the noties on. We're gonna run it up in 2K26. Thank you guys, man. God bless you. Until the next one. Deuces.